enough.
You know, I should actually get multiple intros for the maps, like different type. I don't know. How many intros can you make for one map? I mean, there's 4 poles.
Oh, knowing you, you can make quite a few.
Yeah, I
I
probably
believe in
could.
you.
I probably
I
could.
believe in you.
I'll hype it up, man. Here we go. We carry Unafraid versus the Burrito Boy Special. Burrito Boy, Zeevo, and Solus going up against Pharaoh, Diftingz, and Tazzlol. Wait, is Pharaoh's Pharaoh instead of Unafraid? Hello? That's weird. All right.
Maybe. Wait, what?
If that actually, he can't actually be Pharaoh's because Pharaoh's is competing on a different team, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's investigate.
Let's investigate here. Actually, we're gonna just go. We're gonna play out this one game, and then we'll determine whether or not this game is valid or not after we figure out what happens to.
After they win, we'll
After
tell them
they
they
win.
lose.
After they win, we'll let them know
Waterfalls. He's on a TSG.
Yeah, but
we'll see.
is that actually Pharaoh's the row? I think
Yeah, it might not be.
I think it might be Unafraid on a different name.
We'll see how it goes. Both teams starting in stealth. The priest is going to get knocked out sooner. Diftingz deciding to just pet Nova him out, get that initial fingers of frost. Both rogues still sitting. Pharaoh's deciding to open up right away onto Zeevo, trying to get some initial pressure out on him. Diftingz getting opened up to by Burrito Boy. Huge damage coming out on Diftingz immediately. Taz into that deep full ring of frost, and this could be Diftingz's first block. They got to be careful. He can just get MD. There's the MD immediately onto Diftingz's block. And Taz still not out of the woods. The full fear comes out on him. He tries to immediately trinket that, but this could be just too late. The Iron Bark is on a Diftingz. He's going to get a huge NS, but that's the power of that MD.
Yeah, and they got through Taz's trinket. They got through all of his cooldowns, so they're dropping the smoke bomb now, trying to get more pressure. Another pull into Solace. Burrito getting it turned around onto him. He does pre-Cloak of Shadows before he gets stunned, and he does throw a blind onto Unafraid there. The poly landed onto Taz full. Diftingz got to be wary here. He locks the Frost Tree out on Zeevo, spamming poly desperately on him as well, trying to give Taz time to come out of CC. Now he's going for a Cyclone onto Zeevo. Garrote onto Solace, probably just for crowd control at this point. Zeevo's still cloned up. Taz gets full feared though. Garrote onto Diftingz. Ice Novas are coming in. Burrito Boy is trying to go offensive. He's caught up to Diftingz in the back here, and he does put the full kidney on him. He has no blink. Killing Spree comes out. The second block is already going to get forced. He gets MD'd instantly. 19% HP remaining. He's desperately spamming polys. Offensive penance comes in. Gonna finish the job. And RMP Burrito Boy Special. Burrito Boy Special.
Is that like Southern for burrito? Burrito?
It's gonna take it. No, it's not. It's just. It's not. It's burrito. I can't stop saying it.
There we go. The very first round's gonna go to Burrito Boy Special. We're gonna check that flag on the play to make
You
sure.
just said it.
Did I really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Did I really? Ben, can you confirm?
What did you say?
Burrito or burrito? Which one did I say?
I thought you said burrito.
Yeah.
but
See. Actually, I could have.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
But here we go. So we're gonna check to make sure that is not Pharaoh's because you can only compete on one team at a time. Though Pharaoh's, I believe, was in a TSG. He wasn't a rogue, if I'm not mistaken. But we're gonna check anyway. All right. I'll show you guys that scoreboard right quick. The time in CC. I know that's very useful. Taz 28 seconds, Pharaoh 25, and Diftingz 14. There it is.
There it is.
Burrito. Sounds like it could be like a girl's name.
Someone on my real ID is telling me that it is Pharaoh.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I mean, that's not direct source, but he's saying he has him on real ID and that it's Pharaoh.
Interesting. Yeah, he is signed up as a combat rogue on Chasing Waterfalls as well as a warrior.
Wow,
So.
is he? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and let them know that they are breaking the rules, and so that is unfortunately going to be a loss for them.
That was a very one-sided game. I mean, I'm not sure they would have won even if that series played out. They just able to get such a strong opener with the priest dispels on the mage, and they just open up on him with all their cooldowns. We're able to just get the deep full ring of frost on the druid, MD his block, and they just force really everything right away.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of... This is a rough one, man. with a lot of problems with the players this time around.
Yeah.
Hopefully, not too many more.
Yeah, so just a clarification, guys, to any of the other people that might be competing in the tournaments, that if you sign up for your team and you go and your team is announced on a team list in the bracket and stuff like that, you're going to be, regardless of whether or not you guys can make it that weekend, you still are going to be locked into that team, and you can't compete on that team and another team, regardless of whether or not someone can't make it for your team or whatever. You can't just go team hopping. We got to keep it strict, you know what I mean? We want players to sign up with the team and compete with the team that they signed up with. We do allow that sub-in option because stuff does happen. We understand, but we don't want players just going around team hopping like crazy. We want players to kind of form their team and stick with it.
Or at least let you know ahead of time.
Yeah, or at least let me know ahead of time. Yeah, if you do give me a little bit of warning before tournament day, we usually can work something out. So this team is being very understanding. They're Taz always a stand-up guy, but I don't know if they have another rogue to compete with though. That might be an issue.
Yeah, let's sub in Zeevo.
Ooh.
Allies.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Ask him.
No way. No.
No way. I doubt we're gonna see that.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Zeevo on road.
Ask him. Do it now.
Me? I'm not gonna ask him.
Come
I
on,
don't think he's
Dmachine. Are
online.
you scared of Zeevo?
I'm scared of the dude, man. Wow. We might be hopping into the next game, guys, unless these guys find a rogue here pretty soon. And then up next, we do have Chasing Waterfalls, but that's the same team that Pharaoh is competing on, and if I'm not mistaken, they can't compete. So, Super, you're going to round 2, buddy. I think.
Oh my god.
I think. So, we carry Unafraid. Might not be competing anymore in round 1. Can they bring it back in losers round 2 and find a team? I'm not sure. They might just be out of the tournament. But Chasing Waterfalls and Hey, it's Sony from the Bronx, I do believe Chasing Waterfalls isn't going to be capable of competing as well. Oh, just kidding. Chasing Waterfalls is now looking for a druid. My goodness, this night is weird. Alright guys, so I guess I'll just take this opportunity to go and talk to you guys about the rules. So, let me read them off for you guys real quick here. Some quick reminders. So, let's bring up the rules real quick. So, sub-ins and composition changes. Now, every team is able to have 4 players in their team, and also 6 classes can be used by these players. So lots and lots of different multiple comps that you could do with 6 classes. We only allow 1 tank and healer spec per composition. So say you might have a Holy Paladin and Priest, but you can only use 1 of them per team composition. Pre-announcement Simons of any class and spec are allowed before the team lists and brackets are released. But after the brackets have been released and the team lists have been released, which is every Wednesday, sub-ins must share the same spec and class of the replaced player. So you can't just go and change your comp up and change like your team up completely when teams have already like in advance knew what they were facing and may even have prepared to face you. We want to make sure that teams are capable of preparing themselves if at all possible. If a team subs in a player, they take that permanent spot of the team. So if you take a, say a good example would be Lyrics and Losa from Super Tease's team on his Turbo. I believe Lyrics actually couldn't come, so Losa came in for Lyrics, and then Losa then had to compete as their warrior for the entirety of the rest of the tournament. As soon as like Lyrics comes back, he can't just swap in and out. Unless they both sign up. If they both sign up on the team, then you could definitely swap them in and out. Preemptively, so before Wednesday, right, or Wednesday. Players can only compete on 1 team at a time per tournament. So that's a good example with Pharaoh. If a team is caught competing with players, specs, and classes that weren't originally registered to the team, they might be disqualified. That's definitely an option. Each team is allowed only one player sub-in. So that's going to be all of the sub-in and composition changes that we have ruling. And both teams are ready, so we're going to jump right into it.
Wait, my team is ready that I'm still in here?
No. Your team is not.
Wait, what?
No, we're doing Taz again with Unafraid. I believe Unafraid, a different rogue. Oh, and your team actually is going to be competing as well right after this, though, by the way. Interesting. They did end up finding a Restoration Druid.
Perfect.
Perfect. We have some games, boys.
Some games.
Get in the games. I'm asking Taz what map he wants next, as he did lose that first round.
Stop confusing me, man. This is already hard.
I have bad sound quality. I apologize. I'm sorry, guys. I am going to be investing, hopefully, in a new microphone here.
It sounds like you're talking to us on your good one.
Oh, really?
I mean,
no.
Yes.
It says I'm on the bad one. I don't know. But at the same time, it says that my microphone's not. Dude, Skype is being really weird for me. Here, I'm going to check what microphone I have set up on here. No, I have my good one set up on OBS. So the next map chosen by Taz is going to be on Tolvaron Arena. Here we go, guys. Let's jump right into it. Intro, hype, here we go. Alright, everybody, welcome to Tolvaron Arena. We have Burrito Boy Special going up against We Carry Unafraid. Wait, Shifty. So this potentially might be Shifty on his rogue. Here we go. Can they bring it back 2-0? Take out Burrito Boy Special? I'm not sure, man. I mean, this team probably doesn't have the best synergy.
Yeah, you gotta believe. Gotta believe in the power of teamwork and friendship. They could maybe make something
Tigers.
happen. Whoa, Spectral Tigers.
Wow. Their synergy probably so good.
They both have the basic Spectral Tigers.
Those ones are way better, man.
We'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
I want a Spectral Tiger, whether it's the cheap one or the expensive one.
So I think in theory the RMD should have a little bit of an advantage. They should be able to get a sap onto Solace if they play it right, because Taz does have that permanent invisibility with stealth. And Solace obviously does not, but it's going to be hard pushing in with those Mind Seers and having sort of Zeevo as well as a Burrito Boy scouting around for him. It's high risk. They could easily get pulled out.
Yeah, and Solace had really good offensive play on the Diftingz, so I'm going to imagine he's not going to be as aggressive as he was. He might hold back. Taz needs to get pre-hots. Spectral Guys comes in, the Pet Nova pulls Diftingz out, and they're not going to get that sap that they needed to. As you were saying, they're just going to open up on the Shifties with a cheap shot here. Solace in the back line, building up, just spamming the penances, keeping his team topped, playing very far back for now. Evasion was used by Shifty. They're swapping to Diftingz. He gets locked on the poly. He's going to have to trinket that kidney as a result. A deep freeze on the Taz. The Ring of Frost unfortunately didn't go down. They're going to have to use the blind instead. A blind onto Solace as well, trying to get the pressure out from both sides. Icy Veins comes out, but Diftingz is feeling the heat. 30% HP. It might be his first block early on here. Deep freeze on the Solace. They're going on to Burrito Boy, though, at 30% HP, trying to take him down in a swap. 12% HP remaining. Solace desperately spamming out Saving Grace over and over to try and heal Burrito Boy here, and he does get the pain suppression. Clone into Zeevo. He's just going to trinket that to go for some polymorphs, try and keep Burrito Boy alive here, and he's going to be able to sustain himself.
Yeah, that was a nice Shadow Step kick coming out of Shifties, but that was Solace's trinket. Taz still has his trinket, so this RMD in a much better position to this part. Diftingz taking a lot of damage, though. The smoke bomb coming out from Shifties there. Zeevo also taking a little bit of damage. Taz still has his trinket ready to go. Diftingz having 1 block, Zeevo having 2 blocks. But Solace now is pushing in for the fear, and Taz is able to displace away. So Solace not getting that fear there. Now caught into the Frost Jaw. Going to use that Stone Form. So no Stone Form and no Trinket available for Solace.
Yeah, Taz still has his trinket and his Heart of the Wild and his Iron Bark, so he's got a lot more cooldowns they didn't have last time. Full Kidney onto Burrito Boy, trying to pressure him here. Deep Freeze onto Solace. They have Cross CC going. They have to land this full poly, though. They land the full poly, no trinket available. They need the damage now onto Burrito Boy at 50% HP. Shifty's trying to catch up to him. He does Shadow Step back to him. Another poly onto Solace. He could go down here. 20% HP remaining. Comet Storm comes in. Power Word Shield comes up. Buying a little bit more time for Solace here to spam the Saving Grace. He throws the Silence onto Diftingz to stop the Polymorphs from coming in. Solace looks like he's pushing out with the Feather. He wants to try and get a fear here potentially. He does get Frost Jawed though, caught in the center of the map. A clone onto Burrito Boy, swapping over to Zeevo now. It does get dispelled. He's dipping to about half HP, but he should be all right. Solace not in any crowd control. Diftingz and Taz doing a much better time or job this time around.
Yeah, this RMD really showing the control that they have, but Taz is now caught into the full sheep. They're not able to really get too much going on. Diftingz is caught into that full Garrode Kidney right now. Burrito Boy does have that Adrenaline Rush up. Shifty's going to gouge him on that and put him into the full Kidney shot. Still going to have Feint up for a little bit. Diftingz taking a lot of damage. Burrito Boy getting pressured though. Solace into the full Polymorph. He has Trinket available in 5 seconds, but can Burrito Boy live? That is the Cloak of Shadows coming out from him. Diftingz under a lot of pressure, but it has the Iron Bark from Taz right now. That is the combat, the red buff killing spree coming out onto Burrito Boy, and he could go down into the DR Kidney shot. Solace using his Trinket there, trying to do everything he can to keep Burrito Boy alive. Diftingz also under a lot of pressure, just spamming out those polymorphs onto Zeevo, trying to shut down their CC and sort of stabilize his team.
Yeah, but the full polymorph, no trinket, evasion fading in 3 seconds. Shifty's uses a vanish here to try and go offensive. They need more CC though. They lock the polymorph out. Now the kidney onto Shifty. They're changing it onto him as Taz goes into the full poly with no trinket. Shifty pops the evasion. He should be able to tank out Burrito Boy here for a little bit longer. He's trying to stack on Taz so they can't use the Ice Nova. Now the kidney shot onto Burrito Boy. He's just going to go down. He gets life gripped on the root. Solace not going to be able to save him. He does get the vanish though off of the stun. Full poly onto Solace. I believe he Shadow Word Death it broke there. He's only going to go to a half poly now, and the RMP has stabilized. 1 block remaining, but no evasions left for Burrito Boy. Diftingz still with 1 block, and another one coming up here shortly. He's going to blink out of the kidney shot, start running away. Taz gets deeped on the Cyclone. Zeevo going for the clone, or the poly. He's not going to be able to get it. He gets corroded, and I believe locked down on it as well. But the full fear going to land from Solace onto Taz. Diftingz is getting pressured here in the center of the map.
Yeah, Taz able to just sit that Fury. Well, he didn't really have a choice, and now out of the Fury, he throws the Iron Bark onto Diftingz to sort of prevent as much damage as possible. With Zeevo getting pressured, caught into that full kidney shot. That is a smoke bomb as well. Saul's caught into the full sheep. He has no trinket available. This is going to be Zeevo's block. I mean, it's not going to get MD'd as if it were Diftingz, but he is out of that block now. He is safe. He is able to stabilize from Solace, but Diftingz doing an excellent job CCing Burrito Boy. Cheap shot onto Solace at the moment to prevent him from pushing in and getting that fear onto Tazzy, so that was well done by Shifties there. But now Zeevo caught into the full kidney shot, still getting pressure down by Shifties, who has that adrenaline rush up. They're trying to make something happen. The DR Deep Freeze onto Solace. Because of that, they're not going to be able to get him into CC. A little bit of a blunder there, actually wasting that Deep Freeze while he was on that stun DR, so he can't follow it up with that Polymorph. Diftingz, the Garrode onto him, but both teams have stabilized.
Killing spree coming out onto Zeevo here, but paint suppression was used by Solace to answer. He's going to life grip them further to safety. Zeevo is trying to position here, spamming Spell Steal over and over to get as many hots as he can off of Diftingz here. Taz just positioned very far back though. Poly's onto Burrito Boy. He did use the combat readiness there a bit preemptively, as well as the evasion, so they could potentially swap to him here when those fade. They're going for Zeevo though, the full kidney. He's going to have to trinket out of that, still spamming the Spell Steals, trying to take whatever healing he can from Taz. The sap out of the Poly onto Solace. They need a bit more CC though. Taz doesn't look like he's in a position to get a clone. Instead, going to clone up Burrito Boy and try and push in. Deep Freeze now onto Solace. Taz needs to get over here. Another clone coming out onto Burrito Boy. Zeevo does come back here. The Power Infusion comes out. Diftingz going to want to Spell Steal that as soon as he can. He blinks in to maybe potentially try and get it. Spamming Polymorphs out. He's going to get silenced on it. Pet Nova coming out. Solace spamming the Purge. He's got the shields running right now. Burrito Boy into a Poly. No Dispel available, I don't believe. He goes for the Mass Dispel instead on it. Full Deep Freeze onto Taz. The Ring of Frost is going to land. They're trying to get the pressure onto Diftingz. Shifty's pre-evasion the swap here. They have to go for Diftingz. But they're actually going to just give it up. Going to Shifty's cheap shot, kidney shot. He's just going to go down here. Taz with the NS and the Iron Bark and his trinket, as well as Shifty with his trinket and his vanish. Escaping death at 20%, trying to turn it around with a killing spree there, but not accomplishing too much, and he's still kind of in danger.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. He has nothing left. Taz has no trinket. Shifty has no trinket as well. So if they could get another swap going on to him, it could be very, very dangerous for Shifties there. But it looks like they are going to keep targeting down Zeevo, as well as Diftingz. Both mages under a lot of pressure right now. He's getting tunneled down by those rogues. Diftingz actually able to get Burrito Boys in those sheeps over and over. Taz getting deep freezed on that Cyclone. Trying to go for the polymorph by Zeevo, but it does get interrupted there by Shifty's. Well done by him. The Cloak of Shadows, coming out from Shifty so he can reconnect onto Zeevo. But Shifty's could still be in a lot of trouble if he gets pulled out of position. He still has no trinket available for a little while, so they can make something happen. Could be very scary for him.
Yeah, they got to make sure that the kidney shot doesn't get dodged. He's getting spam polyed right now. Solace is going to trinket that poly to top off Zeevo here, but he's still getting pressured, now garroted. Powered shield just got cut through pretty quickly. Solace with the life grip on his Zeevo, trying to pull him away. He's going to blink in now, go for the deep freeze and the Ring of Frost. He does get interrupted, and instead they're just going to use the full fear. Maybe try and set up onto Shifty's out of that fear. Looks like Burrito Boy's going for the kill. The kidney shot comes out from here. Killing spree as well as double Ice Nova. Taz is trying to spam out the heals. He gets half blinded. He did get the Nature Swiftness off before it, though, saving Shifty there in a dire moment that could have been his life.
Yeah, he's able to get the feint up, and like you said, Taz threw him a huge heal, so that swap a little bit ineffective there by this RMP. Shifty actually has his trinket up in 23 seconds as well as Taz, so those are huge cooldowns that are coming up for them that are going to help them survive. Diftingz still has one block available to him. Zeevo has one block, but Solace doesn't have his trinket up for another minute. He does have that PI up right now, trying to increase his healing a little bit, able to top off his team, and he's pushing in for the fear right now. Let's see if they can stop him. He does get pushed in. He's on top of Taz, so if Zeevo doesn't land this polymorph out of the deep freeze, he is just going to put him into a full fear. And now Burrito Boy under a lot of pressure, taking a lot of damage. I mean, paint's up coming out from Solace there, but he is able to survive for now. Feint is going to fade, though. He could just get exploded if Diftingz has any Ice Novas ready for him. Evasion is up. The Feint's out, but he's in a lot of trouble. Down to 6% HP, 1% HP, and the Comet Storm comes down and finishes them off. And Solace sort of fell behind there when he was pushing in, waiting for that fear.
Wow, that was a great game, man. Wow, they're going to tie that up 1-1 in this best-of-3 series. And this sub-in, man, it's working out for these guys. Can they do it again, though? It's going to be on not a map of their choice, but a map of Burrito Boy Special choice. But is a map choice even going to matter in a mirror match? Or not even a mirror match, but RMP versus RMD? I don't know.
I think that the reason they chose the big map is because it's easier for the Druid to escape the Priest Fears. It's harder for the Priest to push up and land fears out of polymorphs.
There was a cute point early on in the game, I think, where Solace finally wanted to make a move for a fear, so he Spectral Guises with the Feather, and Taz just Shadow Melded and went into stealth, and just was running around in stealth and waited for the Spectral Guys to run out, and then Solace was just kind of standing there with his hands up in the air like, okay, well, I don't know where you are, I guess I have to go back to the pillar. So yeah, having that big distance is really key for the rest of the Druid to avoid the fear, and if Solace is able to land them, that's when they can start taking the advantage.
Yeah, I would almost certainly see them picking a map like Dalaran or Ruins of Lordaeron in the next matchup.
Alright. I'm asking them what map they want up next. Let's see here. Where are they going to go?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Oop, they're actually going to go ahead and choose Tiger's Peak. Interesting. Here we go. It is currently 1-1. The next map is going to determine who is going to advance in the winner's bracket and who goes to the losers. Here we go, guys. The last map is going to be Tiger's Peak. I'll see you guys in there. Alright guys, welcome to Tiger's Peak. It's 1-1, RMD versus RMP. Here we go.
Place your bets, everyone. Who's going to take this series? RMP or RMD? You all stated you wanted RMP to win, but can they actually pull it off is the question.
Can they actually pull it off is the question.
Their opener, that second game, wasn't even close to as good as the first game and have nearly as much momentum.
No, it wasn't. Taz's team did a smart move, but here we go. The gates have opened.
And like Van was saying last time, we're really looking for Shifties to get a sap onto Solace. Nobody coming out of stealth just yet. The Mass Dispel to try and get somebody out, and they are getting really close to each other. Sap onto Zeevo on his invis, so he's not going to get that off. Burrito Boy still trying to find a Sap target. He might find Taz here. He's getting pretty close to him. He lands the Sap onto Taz. Garrote onto Zeevo, but Burrito Boy's just going to open up onto Taz with a full kidney. He's going to Barskin immediately. They're almost all inning him right now. Zeevo's still getting pressured as well with the poly onto Sol, so he's got to be careful here. The kidney shot now onto Burrito Boy. The half kidney onto Taz, though, could just take his life. He shadow melts, gets the Nature Swiftness off, and now Burrito Boy on the back foot into the kidney at 14%. He gets life gripped at 7%, 2% HP remaining. The penance comes off in time. The Cloak of Shadows is up 5%, 2%, 1%. Full clone gonna secure the game here in less than 50 seconds. We carry Unafraid taking the series and moving forward.
I thought Taz was
crazy.
donezo, man. What the heck? What were you gonna say, Van?
No, I was just saying that was crazy. They were just able to get the early CC onto Sol, so right away, Diftingz pushing in, got a deep sheep on him immediately, and they were able to just ride that momentum. And he trinketed it a little bit too late, and they were able to easily get follow-up CC and finish it off. But that was crazy. That's such a quick game.
Hey, press killing spree so early. Crazy. And they almost made it work. They almost killed Taz with it. Unbelievable. And there it is. We Carry Unafraid is going to advance with their